How's it going, everybody? International Master Daniel Rensch here, and this is Tackling Tactics, the greatest video series ever. I accidentally started solving before I had my recording set in place, so this was the last puzzle I just solved. Today we're solving tactics at the almost 2800 level, given that I've lost a little bit of rating points lately. But because this was such a cool puzzle that I actually solved, I wanted to show you all, and then we will move on to the next one. Started out realizing that there was actually no way for white to stop knight f2 check. And even a move like rook f1, preparing to give up the rook for the knight, doesn't stop the knight from moving with a discovery and then the queen hanging. So basically by necessity, I had to figure out a way to stop the threat of knight f2 check, knight h3 check, followed by sacrificing the queen on g1 and then the infamous Venus flytrap smothered mate. And because of necessity, I was actually able to come up with the move. The only move that does that is a shocking move, bishop h3. This is why Tactics Trainer is so great. It really is. Positions like this that are only found by our algorithm because they allow you to, well, without going into the algorithm itself, right? That's top secret information right there, everybody. But it allows you to find moves like this from real games where every other move is a massive evaluation change. So because of that, we're able to find this. Just really, you would almost never see this in a puzzle book, to give up the knight on f3 with check voluntarily and then retreating the bishop. Now you're going to win the knight on e4. And if he plays knight f2 check, you can play king to g1 and black will be overwhelmed. And even then, I thought I had solved it, but then queen to c3 comes in and I realized that to be totally fair, I actually didn't see this move when I first found bishop h3. But now the only move is actually a very simple one, rook f1, which guards the knight on f2 check. And once this knight has to move, both the d6 pawn and the b7 pawn are falling, and white is actually going to be completely winning in the endgame. So I think this is a really fulfilling puzzle that shows you sometimes chess is about playing the necessary moves, and you usually do get full credit, even if you don't spot moves like queen to c3, because earlier in the position, you found the only move that didn't get the puzzle wrong, or if it was a real game, actually lose the game for you. So this is just a sort of instructive, defensive-minded puzzle that really leads to a winning endgame for white, and fascinating when we get puzzles like that. So let's do the next one, shall we? That's right, we're solving puzzles at the high level today. What am I thinking about here? Bishop takes b2. If I play king takes b2, the move must be knight to a4 check, which wins the bishop back on a5, and probably something delicious after that. I'd like to play bishop takes b6, because if queen takes b6, I can play knight c4, forking the queen and bishop. But then he has knight c3 mate, actually, because the queen on b6 guards the bishop on b2. So that's not an option. What are the other options here? Is knight to d7 check an option? If knight takes, I win the queen, but if queen takes, I think it's nothing but a bowl full of jelly. So there must be something a little trickier here that takes advantage of the fact that black has so many pieces on pre. The bishop on b2, the knight on b6 is pinned. Is it c4? c4 attacks the knight. If he moves it to a passive square, we can take on b2 maybe, but actually c4 he can still just play knight c3 check, and if takes, I don't see any follow-up. Time is ticking away on this one rapidly on me. So there must be something here that I'm just not seeing that is sort of simple about white's approach. Well, that is frustrating. Okay, that must be it. Aha, it was a blunder. It put the piece on two squares that were hanging. Bishop on b2 and the rook on e8. Okay, so I only got three points for that. 2790 to 2793. In case you can't see the rating here, you may be able to see it depending on what my video editor throws your way. But why was I able to find queen b5? Really, I was frustrated with this one, and as time ticked away, it was very reminiscent of an actual time pressure situation in a real game. Again, it's all about focus with Tactics Trainer, and I like that. That's why I like seeing the time, because it challenges me to really bring everything. What I recognized immediately that I was calculating out loud for all of you was that there were a lot of pieces on pre for black. The bishop on b2, the knight on b6 was pinned, and maybe even c4. But every move I considered really was just another one bites the dust, right? So why was I able to find queen to b5? You know, you just keep looking. It wasn't my first instinct to play a move like that, probably because the first move that he played was bishop takes b2. But as you keep looking and you trust that when your opponent plays moves like that in a game and not every piece is protected, like if his rook was just on c8 or something, he's probably going to mate me on c2 before that, right? But what I'm saying is Karpovian chess would teach us that usually the best tactics are the servant of strategy, right, Botvinnik? And so when there are pieces on pre or undefended or pinned, it's rare that tactics like that just work without any consequences, right? So keeping a cool head, even when your opponent plays a tactic like that, is difficult but really important. And I think one of the last skills a chess player manages, along with high-level prophylaxis, high-level stopping of your opponent's plans, is clear-headedness, I'll call it, when combinations are played against you and really considering all your options. So hopefully that helps everybody. Let's do the next problem here.